Uh, this is just a video of I am going to focus on my vision um, because before it's too late and it just buried with me. Um, the world is big enough and it's enough people in the world to have a vision, to leave your vision. So that's what I'm gonna do. What my vision is change the school system. If I don't do nothing but just one person, if I could just reach one person. Um, and changing the school system is only part of it. Changing the way families operate. Every everything needs to be changed, modified, rolled out. Because it's not working. This system that we are operating under has never been put in place for everyone, especially United States. Other countries, their system was put in place for them. And that's basically them that's living there. Not like the United States when you have so many different people from so many different places and um, under the rulership of the most uh, horrific government set of people. I know it's going to be hard to convince people, and it's probably not going to happen in the next 80 years, but it's going to happen. All this stuff that we're living under is going to be thrown out. The Constitution, all that stuff is going to be thrown out because, for one thing, it is not helping anyone but the rich and mighty. And sooner or later, we're going to rise up against it. And they know that. That's why they have uh, introduced so much pain and suffering to keep people busy. They have introduced so much entertainment and technology to keep people busy and unfocused and confused. And then you have all these different fractions coming up to keep people in this cocoon that they can be controlled because you look at see if we was told the truth we would look at all these um, cults and groups. They are in place for one thing: to keep that group controlled, that group controlled, That group control. Just like the Taliban. They think they ain't as bad as the Taliban and all these other malicious groups because they're not going around blowing up people and all this stuff. Well, you have a government that is keeping you controlled, con, you know, keeping you in, and just like they have uh, someone controlling them in a way, you know, and the United States do have a set of laws that they try to enforce on people, and they are breaking up the family. You know, just like I was listening today about, 'cause I'm not blaming nothing on the government because see, the government is in place to oppress, disenfranchise, rule, neglect, and to keep power and riches. That's what the government is for. That's what the government does. And um, but we can't talk about the government as long as we are letting people like these gangs operate and take over our neighborhoods, kill our family members. Just like I read, just like I heard about this guy, only 24 years old, taking care of three kids, was gunned down by drug dealers. They say it's because he built a fence and he was standing up to these drug dealers. Now, it's a shame that these drug dealers are allowed to just run a buck in our neighborhoods, killing our kids, killing our parents, killing our friends, family. Oh, yeah, they'll pick one out. Why are you waiting till they kill somebody to pick them up? They need to be picked up now. Like I always say, if they ain't got no job or in school, they need to have their ass locked up. What else is you doing out here if you're not if you don't have a job? And then the government's always saying, well, we can't just go in there and make people get a job and ain't no job. It is plenty of jobs out here. And why is not enough jobs? Yes, it is. You don't want to give them a job because they have a background check won't go because uh, they can't pass the drug test. You ain't got to be on drugs, and you ain't got to have a bad background to steal. It's a lot of thieves out here that don't have a bad background. They should be in school. If you're not working, you need to be in school. They just let them just run wild. And what is they doing? And it's a shame that that man lost his life because he wanted to make a better world for his kids. A better world. Making a better world for his kids is making a better world for all of us. And you're gonna let these people that do these killings, you look at them once they get caught. Look at them. They look like scared little boys. And that's what they are. They are scared little boys with a gun. Give them some alcohol, give them some dope, they superhero. And then I seen this documentary that was so sad, and I'm gonna talk about that. This woman out in Los Angeles, she had a son, only 19 years old. Now you know it's a gang problem out there, the Crips and the Bloods. She knew her son shouldn't have been wearing red in this neighborhood, but she let him do it anyway. She let him go in this store with red shirt on, red shoes, which is that's a whole nother story. And he was this is so sad. He was mentally challenged because he had got hit by a car when he was 2 years old. And she let him go in there. These people, these men, wait a minute, these creatures of the Black Lagoon followed him and shot him dead because he had on a red shirt and red shoes. Just shot, and then they had a video. They shot him and they ran. This is what I'm saying. Why you run? Because you know you was wrong. Somebody doing right don't have to run. And then later down the line, they gonna get pissed off at the woman for trying to get justice for her son and threaten her because they got caught. You dumbass, you on camera. It's cameras everywhere. And then you gonna get mad because you got caught. And she did say something that I like. She said, "Yeah, I looked for him. If I had found him, I would have killed him." And that's what we need to do. Because some people like that don't need to live because they not only gonna kill your child, they gonna kill somebody else's child because they reckless like that. And see, that's what I'm saying. We have to get smart. When you're living in an area like that, which I wouldn't. If I no, I'm not gonna live in the middle with some Bloods and Crips. No, I just give me a bus ticket. I'm out of here. I'm just gonna get on the bus and go. Cause what am I staying for? Everybody else just walk around like it. Oh, he killed somebody else last night, and we're not doing nothing. We're just letting it happen. We need to find out where these folks at, and just blow up, just burn the house down, burn them out the neighborhood. But anyway, um, she knew he wasn't. He shouldn't have been in that neighborhood with them colors. I wish and she does too. She has to live with that. And we don't always make the right decisions. So we let our kids. Sometimes we give in to them, and it doesn't come out bad. And sometimes it does. But when it comes to losing your life, that's it. He left his parents and his siblings and a host of friends. And it's just a dang on shame. And these people that did it, you could tell They've never experienced love in their life. And they know that boy wasn't no gang member. They knew it. But they was so entrenched, entrenched with hate towards a color. Okay? And not only because of the color, but also the color of his skin. Black man. Now, if a white man with a red shirt and red shoes came in there, they wouldn't mess with him. Because they knew, oh, yeah, he couldn't be no blood. But it's the fact that it was a black man in a red shirt, a young black man. They all they saw was that red shirt. They didn't look at that. They didn't see a black man like themselves. They didn't look at that. They didn't see that. So, and this school system that we are sending our kids to are destroying them from within and destroying each other with the overload, overwhelming murders of black women and black pregnant women, young and old. It shows you that we're not teaching our kids nothing. Because what good is having an education when you probably might spend the rest of your life in jail, or you might be shot and killed? It's bad. Because when I was growing up, we may hear about somebody getting killed. This okay. Now I know it was bad in some places than where I grew up at. We didn't hear about it because we didn't have the internet. But even before even before my time, you had your bad you had your bad apples, yes you did. But now it's getting to the point where it can happen anywhere. McDonald's. They are actually robbing McDonald's. Was it Burger King, Wendy's, Family Dollar, and then they killed this woman at Cracker Barrel. And what make it so bad? You grabbed the woman. He tried to grab the woman's purse, and the woman tried to keep him from getting in the store, and he shot her because their brain is not operating on a. Well, let me just go because I don't want to go to jail for murder. No, I'll do 10 years for robbery, but life, and as a white woman, I probably gonna get the death penalty. Their brain can't think that way. And then they say that they found the suspect and wound up killing him. So, and then another thing, this is something else too that we're not teaching our kids. I'm talking some more about that because I was just reading in this book where black women and men should be the main teachers of our kids. Okay, but that's not happening because most of our kids are not growing up to be teachers. Um, and that has a lot to do with what's taught in school because these teachers don't want to teach the truth because they think that they have a level of uneducated, educated brain because they can only learn from what they learned. They can only teach what they was taught. And they don't teach truth because they think that the kids will feel different about themselves, feel different about towards them. They forget that they're teachers. Um, but what I was going to bring up, one more thing I was going to bring up was these. I read about this boy, well, this man, this black man was killed by the police as he ran and jumped in a um, what you call it? Oh, and he jumped in not a lake but a marsh. You know where grass grows out the water down south, and he jumped in there, and the police. Well, they tried to say the police went and tried to find him or got him or something, and he wound up dying. And he said he had a warrant, so they think that's why he ran. And that happens so much. These men, they driving, speeding, don't have the seatbelt on, license plates expired, no driver's license, you know, stuff like that. Then ain't got a warrant, and then when they get stopped by the police, you want to run, you want to fight, and, and wind up getting killed, or don't want to comply. You know, like the one guy, he got shot in the back 7 times. How did he live? Yeah, but he's in a wheelchair. All you had to do was just stand there, get handcuffs, go to jail, get bond out, take it to court. You will be walking now. Our school system has failed us. That's where it starts. It's supposed to start. A child's supposed to start being educated from the moment of birth. But a lot of parents are not able to do that. You have parents that's not don't know how to do that. But before I go, I just want to say new school system, new family system. Families need to be families again. That means mother, father, aunt, uncle, cousin, distant cousin, great aunt, great uncle. They are needed. They are needed. We need to start raising warriors so this world can become a better